Okay, fuck. Excuse me. We are going to paint a pretty picture today. So what I was thinking, I think anybody's an artist. Anyone can lay some color down and have it be beautiful on this picture. So that's kind of what I'm trying to prove today. I'm going to paint the most easy thing that I can imagine, and that's some clouds and a blue sky. And I can't really think of much more peaceful things. As a kid, I remember laying down and staring up into the sky and losing my breath because it was so massive in comparison to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a watercolor. And for watercolor, you usually start with a wash. You're going to, hopefully this is all in frame. I'm shooting with my usual potato, so bear with me. So what we're going to do is maybe we'll do like a seascape, like somebody standing next to the beach looking at the endless water and the endless sky. So we're going to get this real wet. And if you contaminate it, if you like, you know, get other colors on there by accident, it doesn't matter. Well, I like to use paper with cotton in it because other cheap paper just doesn't hold up to the moisture and the paint brushes. You know, you're soaking the paper, so it's really tough like that. Alright, so now I'm going to let that really soak in. Make sure you got everything. Maybe I should get a lamp. 1 second. That might be easier for you to see, I don't know. So art can be incredibly therapeutic. You just sit here and dive into what you're doing. You're creating, you're pushing like a thought into the physical world. And so in my opinion, it's kind of magic. It's really beautiful. So we're going to start with like a light blue wash, and we might add other blues. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. I like to use Yurka panned watercolors. They're like, I don't really like liquid watercolors. They just, not a big fan. And like as a kid, I had like those sets of praying watercolors, so I'm just used to using like a solid palette. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna kind of sprinkle on some blue here, and that'll give us some nice textures in the sky. Some got into my ground right there, but it's not a big deal. So, and to me, this is already super pretty. I love it. I cuss a lot, and I apologize. That's why I age restrict these videos. I'm not trying to make money on this. I'm just trying to give you guys tools to relax when life kicks you in the balls or the ovaries. And so like your horizon's always going to be way darker than, you know, the top of the page, so it's good to really start with this solid set of blue down here, and we might turn that into the ocean later, so we're just gonna really saturate the bottom with blue, and you want to keep it wet so you don't so your wash doesn't, we're gonna remove paint here pretty soon with paper towels to make our clouds. So you want your wash pretty wet. And I think we're probably going to add like a little darker blue. I use liquid paint sometimes. Don't ever buy these. They go rotten. They're just the worst paint decision I ever made. We're going to darken our blue up a little bit. Okay. Dr. P.H. Martin's paint. Do better, guys. And Colorado company is all trying to support, the people around me and stuff. It was just a terrible waste of money. They grew mold, and I don't know. Citric acid would have stopped that. I guess you can't use acid on paper. I don't know. So anyways, we're going to use some slate blue at the bottom just to define our horizon. Maybe allude to a storm brewing. Alright, and then we're going to tip that up and run it down. Oops. And like I said, don't worry about mistakes. They're all part of it. Looks like I missed a spot on my wash. That's okay. The slate blue is a little more green than I wanted it. That's okay though. We'll mix more blue in. Just be a stormy sky. And like this big vertical stripe up my painting, I might just cut it off because that's a mistake, because the sky doesn't have vertical columns in it. But hopefully we can cover that up with other paint. And this is just shotgun, guys. I'm not trying to create a masterpiece here. I'm just showing you how easy it is to like put some color down and explore your imagination, like just create some weird colorful world if you don't want to do the sky. It's extremely relaxing. And then you got something to just like stare into later, that you made, a little tiny world that's yours. Bob Ross knew what's up. Keep this shit happy. Alright. So, as you can see, it's not perfect. It really isn't, but it'll be good enough, and we'll cut the edges off once it dries. Or just really, really try to blend them in. Then you could add like some pinks. You could give it some kind of highlight. We're gonna add a little bit of purple, or maybe just like some cobalt blue, something like very deep and dark. That's cobalt, but the wrong one. That's okay. Keep it blue. All right. There's I have 100 sets of Yurkas. They're quality paint, I'm telling you. Don't let the war get in the way of supporting good Russian people. Throw some pinks in there. Pinkish purple, I should say. And then we'll rinse this out real good and kind of wash these in. Maybe it's a sunrise. Maybe it's a sunrise on Neptune. We don't know yet. A little more pink on the top. Purplish pink. Oops. Super crappy watercolors by Luke. No, believe it or not, it'll be pretty when we're done. So now we need to kind of let that color set and saturate in that paper. We're gonna add a little more cobalt blue up here. Oops. Cobalt blue is toxic, but it's one of those pigments that really can handle color, or UV light, so it keeps its color. Like if you hang it in a place where the sun might hit it. Okay, our stormy sky. Let me see. Yeah. We'll add a little bit of some light blue towards the top. It's like blue and white pigment, so it's opaque and it'll give our sky a little bit of texture. Alright, looking pretty colors. And if that's all it is, you know, just get a piece of paper and put some color on it. It really does something to your brain. I feel hyper relaxed right now. Define our, it's too juicy. I'm going to try to define our horizon a little more. Might even have to get some black. You got to be careful with black because it'll get real grainy and just ugly, so be careful when you're using black pigments with watercolor. All right. Nice. Yeah, let's call this Sunrise on Neptune. Neptune's like the big slurpy planet. It's just frozen gas, snow. If you were to, I mean, God only knows, obviously, but if, according to science, if you were to stand on the surface, the air is methane, I think. So, and just hydrocarbons, so it'd be way less dense than the air on Earth. Obviously, no oxygen or anything else. And not hydrocarbons, maybe. I don't know shit. Anyways, I've heard that it would be like standing on a Slurpee, and the wind would be like 800 miles an hour, but the air is not as dense as ours, so it wouldn't like rip your skin off. You'd barely feel it. All right, so that's all right. Sunrise on Neptune. Neptune has clouds, so we're gonna add some clouds. You want to like kind of make a cloud shape with your ball of paper towel or whatever you use to give it texture, and then we're gonna go in and add like layering to these clouds. I waited too long. Shoot. It's okay. There's our first cloud. Clouds are kind of like flat on the bottom, you know, because they're like laying on the denser air. Make sure you keep it flat, but kind of poofy on the top. Yeah, I waited too long, but we can remedy that with white paint. So there's part of our clouds. So we're gonna kind of re-wet this and keep the bottom flat in our cloud. And then we're gonna like dab it a little bit more. All right. And you can like re-wet it so you can pull more pigment out of the paper if you want. This is a terrible picture. I'm gonna start over. We'll see how it turns out. So there's our sunrise on Neptune. Now we're gonna add some white. To our clouds. Not my best work, guys, but it's just an example. Just have fun. And we're going to cut these edges off, so don't worry about that too much. You can cut it down. Even if the painting kind of sucks, you might be able to find like a little piece of it that's just really done well. Just the chaos of the water fucking made it turn out. So I don't know. Just play with it until something pretty comes out. And it's good to keep two separate washes, like that you rinse your brush in, one for hot colors and one for cold. And these clouds look weird because they're on Neptune. Obviously, just kidding. But like, I don't know. Who cares if they suck? I think you need it. Well, I should have did this one first. Your imagination is such a powerful refuge. Like if you have a safe place inside your head, nothing can touch you. In my set of beliefs, the truth comes in three forms. Your own personal truth that you gather over the years from insight from other people, and you base your truth on what you're taught. Uh, and that might vary from like what the world thinks is true. That's okay. Oops, broke my own rule. Um, so the truth, my truth, is separate from your truth, obviously, because you had different teachers and different examples in your life. The truth is something humans just can't define yet. Our brains are too feeble to understand everything. And to know the absolute truth, you truly have to understand everything. So, the truth is a triangle, and it should all be considered. There's the absolute truth, what the public thinks is true, Sasquatch isn't real. Anybody that believes in UFOs is completely crazy. And your truth might be like, yo, bitch, I saw a UFO once, or maybe even I was abducted. Fuck you. So they have to be in balance, and you have to keep your inner truth inside. It's part of survival. You can't share certain truths with everybody. You'll get eaten alive. Okay. Sunrise on Neptune. God, wouldn't that be a sight? Whoa. then just drag some of the color you already got down into the cloud to make that gradient, make the bottom of the cloud dark, but it reflects the color of your sky. I mean, this isn't horrible, but I'll do better next time, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe this needs a little more water, and that will like scatter the paint out a little more and make the sky look a little less granule. Alright. Gotta do the same with this cloud, kind of give it a bottom. Then let's just do like a crazy turquoise sea. We'll let this dry out a bit. I don't even know how to pause videos or edit them or anything, so I apologize, guys. You just gotta watch the whole thing. So I imagine the sky is going to be pretty dark on Neptune because it's so far away from the sun and just different. I mean, it looks blue, so I gave it a blue sky. Who knows, the sky is probably like yellow, I would think. But anyways, in my imagination, this is how it looks. All right. If you were putting this in a frame, the frame would eat up a lot of the edge anyways, so kind of want your focal point not in the center, but like kind of over here somewhere. And so my clouds are going to have a little extra detail on this side. A little too purple down here. I'm not trying to win any competitions. I'm just relaxing and painting nonsense. I hope you guys can do it at your house sometime. It's nice. You're gonna use Yurkas are kind of watercolors you shouldn't use with your kids because they're full of heavy metals. And if you do use Yurkas, make sure you wash your hands when you're done. Throw some white on there. Getting good at painting is knowing when to stop. Because sometimes you just like, oh, I don't like this, and you overwork it until it's just like a blob. So you gotta be careful. I don't have any formal training at all, other than like high school art class. So I'm sure I could be a way better painter if I took some classes. it's just kind of for fun. Like, nobody's gonna buy this shit, you know? Alright. There's our Neptunian clouds. And then we'll just draw an eerie, like, foreground. Let's see if I can move this without it dripping. Yeah. There's our clouds right side up. Looking good. Alright. So now I'm going to do what I would imagine Neptune's surface looking like, you know, like I said, and I'm doing this dry because we kind of want more texture on the ground. So we're going to not do a wash on the ground. I'm just going to do like crazy dark turquoise with weird little white snowflake looking things. And this might be wet, and I don't necessarily want this color transferring into my turquoise ground, so we're gonna leave a space for now. But you don't want to make it too dark and leave a space, because no matter what you do, there'll be a line when you go to fill it in. So make sure it's just a little bit washed at the top. I hope this video isn't too long. I'm sorry, guys. It would be nice to watch the sunrise on Neptune away from everybody and everything, and just listen to the 800-mile-an-hour wind or whatever, you know, like, oh my god. It would be even crazier to watch like the sunrise on Pluto, maybe, like, well, it would just look like a really bright star, I guess, on Pluto. Wouldn't be much of a sunrise. The sunrise on Venus would be like, oh god, it's gonna get hot. Venus is a crazy planet. Just an ocean of gas slurpee. Looks like we got some square problems. Oh, no. Okay. Oops. I forgot. There's black on the other side of that. Okay. Oh, oops. I dragged it up. Oh, well, like, yeah. Looks like the ocean just got way bigger. That didn't work. You can't drag it up. You gotta lift it straight off if you're gonna do something stupid like this. Give us like somewhat of a straight line to work with, I guess. I don't think there's any cheating in art. Like, I think the final, yeah, that'll work. We'll just do the ocean super dark at the top. I don't think there's any cheating in art. The final product is what it is. Not sponsored by Yurka, by the way, obviously. You know, if you guys want it though. And then we'll add texture to the ocean later. We gotta make it really dark to make that line invisible. So I'm gonna just use more of that like slate blue that I used at the bottom of the horizon. Neptunian slurpy ocean. If I was using regular paper, it'd be shredding right now, so that's why we use this. Alright. Oh, that sucks. Didn't see that. Oops. Crap. This guy's gonna be extra blue right there. I guess I can have to add some label. Yeah, that's true. Alright. Watercolors are pretty easy to fix. If that was oil and I had a big old splatter like that, it would be in the trash. My back is super screwed up, so sometimes painting's painful. Alright. Screw it. It's Neptune. Alright. Whatever. That'll work. Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah. I guess we'll throw in some cobalt blue to stabilize it a little bit and break up that super dark background. Alright. Trying to get this done so I can add some white accents because the clouds need just a little more like white to sprawl out on the wet paper, you know, like. There's probably still going to be a line. I kind of screwed up, but that's alright, whatever. I'll do better next time, I promise, guys. And hopefully I'll like figure out the whole editing thing, and so I can leave out the heavy breathing AMSR or whatever the hell it's called. I'm just sitting here going painting. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Whew. All right. There is a Neptunian ocean. Don't swim in it. So maybe like the tall white aliens gave us a ride to watch this sunset, and we're in like this pure gold UFO just hovering above the toxic slurpy water, and it's so blue. It's the bluest thing any of us have ever seen. And we can hear the wind just whipping around the ship. Oh. Or maybe it was like maybe Enki was like, oh, this guy needs a trip to Neptune, I can tell. Came back to enforce the balance. Or maybe the Gigi know that Enki's coming back and they're in big trouble, so they're escaping to Neptune. And they sent us a picture. Angrily proclaiming the planet's theirs and what we did wasn't fair or something. Who knows? The real story, I guarantee, would scare the shit out of all of us. And make us feel not so important as humans. I honestly wish that the aliens would just be like, what's up, bitches? The fuck are you doing? Dumbasses. What's wrong with you? You guys are playing with nukes again. We came here and told you not to. We come back, and what are you doing? You know, like, I really wish. Just skin our politicians alive. If you do this again. Not really. No one's coming to save us, in my opinion. Alright, beautiful Neptune sunrise. And now what we'll do is just put like let's get a smaller brush maybe. That's kind of a problem. Crap. Take this one here. Yep. Sweet. And then we'll just add like some white glints on the water towards or Slurpee or whatever it is. There we go. Alright. So that's how you draw a Neptune sunrise. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out and stuff, and I'll try to work on this, do a better job, but hopefully that was relaxing for y'all, and hopefully you give it a try. Peace.